Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 485. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is Simple E-commerce Profits for the Holidays, Part 1. Simple E-commerce Profits for the Holidays, Part 1. Now, as Q4 approaches, retailers have already geared up to sell billions and billions of dollars worth of products to hungry consumers. And on today's show, I'm going to discuss how to identify simple, profitable products that you can sell via e-commerce. Now, this is part 1 of a 2-part episode. So next week, I'm going to decode the different platforms to sell on, and I'm going to identify which platform is best for your product or service. So there are multiple platforms out there, but certain platforms are better for particular types of products or services. So make sure you guys understand this is a 2-part episode. Now, before we get into today's content, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest book, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, the Ultimate Prompting Handbook for Beginners. We all know, guys, that AI is here to stay, so you're either going to ride the wave and profit, or you're going to get swept up under the wave. So go to unlockingchatgpt.com for more information. Also, don't forget to take advantage of our 3 days free access to bebacademy.com. It's our online learning portal where we help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. And what we have in the portal is we have all types of online courses, master classes, and resources to help you through your entrepreneurial journey. And you can get 3 days free access. Just go to the website blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com and you'll see it at the top portion of the website. And one last thing to our first-time listeners, just want to let you guys know that we drop every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So however you're listening to this or watching this, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you'll be alerted when the new episodes drop. Now, I do have one special announcement that actually coincides with today's episode and also part 2, which is next week's episode. You guys know, if you've listened to the show for any period of time, I am a big proponent of e-commerce. I did an episode where e-commerce saved my life. Literally, it did. I didn't know what I was going to do after one of my businesses failed, and e-commerce was the thing that not just brought me through that, but propelled me to a different level. So if you're interested in building a successful e-commerce business, which goes directly along with today's show and tomorrow's show, my flagship program for e-commerce is Brand Builder Academy Elite, BBAElite.com, or you can just go to the website blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com and you will see it right on the top section of the website. Now, the program is normally $497, but I'm doing a holiday promo where you get $400 off, and it is only $97. That's right, it's only $97. So go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. You can scroll down until you see Brand Builder Academy Elite. Click the Learn More button and enroll. And as you enroll, use the coupon code HOLIDAY, all lowercase, HOLIDAY. And that's going to take $400 off of the $497 price. There are only 10 coupons, so make sure you're one of the first 10. Use the coupon code HOLIDAY, all lowercase, when you're enrolling in the program. And I promise you, pound for pound, it's one of my best programs, and you're going to be a master at e-commerce because I teach you everything that I've done to be successful in e-commerce. Once again, you can go directly to the site, bbaelite.com, or you can go through the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Now, let's get ready for today's show, Simple E-Commerce Profits for the Holidays, Part 1. So today we're going to talk about the e-commerce opportunity, why you should look at e-commerce as a way to generate revenues. Also, I'm going to show you how to identify winning products and where to find those winning products to sell. But first, let me lay the foundation for you so you guys will understand this. Most people think that e-commerce is saturated, but in truth, it's really in its infancy. I'm going to read you a little excerpt from a company called Deloitte, and they actually did some forecasting on e-commerce. Now, the report states that holiday retail sales are expected to increase between 3.5% to 4.6%. That's overall holiday retail sales. They also forecast e-commerce holiday sales are projected to grow between 10.3% to 12.8% compared to 2022 during that holiday season. This will likely result in e-commerce holiday sales reaching between $278 billion and $284 billion this season. This is 2023. So we're looking anywhere between $278 to $284 billion in e-commerce sales. And it's continuing to grow faster than overall retail sales, which are projected to grow between 3.5% to 4.6%, whereas e-commerce sales in the same time period are projected to grow between 10.3% and 12.8%. So don't get it twisted, family. E-commerce is in its infancy and it's going to continue to grow. All you need to do is get in there and get your little slice. And we're going to talk about that right now. So the first thing I want to talk about, in addition to the opportunity, we know that the trend with e-commerce is growing. We just discussed that. But why look at e-commerce as a business? And here's a couple of things, and I can speak from personal experience. It's a business with a low barrier to entry. Okay, you don't need tens of thousands of dollars to get into the e-commerce business. I have a coaching student that was in Brand Builder Academy Elite that actually started out with like $500 and has been very successful and is making anywhere between $4,000 and $5,000 a month. And he only started with $500. And so the barrier to entry is very low. So that's one of the benefits of why you want to look at e-commerce. Also, you can start part-time or full-time. There's no need to quit your job. You see, certain income opportunities don't even allow you to continue working, and you pretty much have to make a decision. Am I going to stay in corporate America, or am I going to go out on my own? This allows you to start part-time or full-time, and I said the investment is whatever you want, whatever you feel makes sense for you to be successful in your business. Okay. Also, you can sell products that you have an interest in. So if you're interested in pickleball, right? Maybe you start selling pickleball equipment, the paddles, the balls, knee pads, whatever you want to sell. And now you're doing something that you have an interest in. And once again, there's all types of ways to sell these physical products. And we're going to get into that later on in today's show. So those are some of the reasons why you guys need to look at e-commerce. You know, I was just consulting with a new coaching client last week. I'm actually meeting with her tomorrow morning. And one of the things that I had to show her was I showed her my revenues and my income from some of my e-commerce brands. And she was like, oh, my goodness, I've been selling on eBay and, you know, this is crazy. I'm only doing like $1,000 a month. And I was like, yeah, there's different platforms for different things. And we're going to go over all of that. Also, if you want more detail, make sure you get the course. All right. Brand Builder Academy Elite. You're saving $400, guys, and there's only 10 coupons available. So go to bbaelite.com or go to the website blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. When you enroll, use the coupon code HOLIDAY. And we only have 10 coupons available, and HOLIDAY is all lowercase. So if you're serious about e-commerce, guys, this is something that you need to jump on right now. So let's talk about how to identify winning products, because that's actually the meeting I'm going to have tomorrow with this young lady, because she has all types of products that she's interested in. So the first thing I did, I said, well, write down a list and kind of use a mind map about some of the products you have an interest in selling. Then we'll go through them and we'll vet out the ones that make sense and the ones that don't make sense. But there's certain characteristics of successful products when you're talking about e-commerce. And today I'm really talking more so with the physical products. Reason being, this is the Christmas time, the holiday season. Most people want to get physical products under their tree or wherever they get them in their stocking. But just the ability to be able to open a physical product. You see people doing unboxing videos all the time. So we're talking primarily about physical products, okay? So let's start off with the size and the weight. And we're going to focus on, like I said, physical products, size and weight. So if you sell your own brand or resell another brand, the size and the weight of your product is going to affect your profitability because of the shipping cost, okay? So you want to make sure that your product isn't super heavy and that your product isn't overly large. Now, one of the rules of thumb a lot of e-commerce professionals use is it should be able to fit into a shoebox. All right. And that may or may not be the case based on what you decide to sell. But let me give you a real life example of another one of my e-commerce Brand Builder Academy Elite e-commerce students. She had the idea of selling fake trees that she would sell to office complexes and office buildings. So you want to make it green in there. You're not going to have a real tree in the atrium. And it was a great product idea. The problem was when she got her quote from China, because China manufactures a lot of this stuff, because of the length of the trees, which was an oblong shipping box and a container, the cost to ship actually evaporated all her profitability. So it wasn't necessarily the weight of that product per se, but it was the actual size of the product. Now, let me give you a real life example how weight comes into play. So wherever you're getting stuff shipped from, once again, you're going to have a shipping cost associated with it. So I'm in the hot sauce business. Hot sauce, when they come in cases of 12, it gets heavy when you're ordering 800 bottles of hot sauce. So that's something I had to take into account when it comes to actual pricing and how it affects my profitability. I had one student that wanted to sell cast iron skillets. Great product. But once again, what happened was his profitability was cut down so much because of the shipping costs from his manufacturer. Also, what you have to take into account is the shipping cost that you have to incur or your customer has to incur when they order it and you ship it to them. So many people are so accustomed to free shipping because they shop on Amazon, right? So if you have a nice iron skillet that you're selling for $20 and the shipping itself is $30, that's a $50 investment when they can go to Amazon and probably buy a very similar skillet for $20 with free shipping. So when you're starting to identify winning products, make sure you look at the size and the weight, because that's going to affect your shipping costs and it's going to affect your profitability. That's the first thing you want to look at. The next component you want to look at is perceived value. Okay, perceived value. All right, how much does the product cost you, and is there a higher perceived value to make your product profitable? All right, do comparison shopping, guys, on Alibaba versus Amazon and see the price spreads. So perceived value. And what do I mean by that? Perceived value is what somebody perceives this product value to be. There's 3 types of product levels: high end, mid level, and low end. Okay. You have to align your product, packaging, and pricing to get a higher perceived value. And I use this example all the time. So if you're selling a high-end watch like a Rolex, it wouldn't come in a plastic poly bag, right? It comes in a nice box. The presentation is great because it's a high-end product. Okay, so perceived value, the way you can help add perceived value is by your packaging. Okay, and we're going to talk about that a little later. But here's another real life example with my flat irons. And I'm still selling 2 flat iron brands on Amazon right now. And so the flat irons, the hair straightener flat irons, if you hadn't heard the story before, I'm not going to get into it, but they cost me $10.78 landed from China to my door. Okay, and they have my name brand. They're in a nice professional designer box, so it's a great gift. Everything all in $10.78. I sell them for $129. Okay, the perceived value of that flat iron is high because of the packaging, pricing, and the perception. Okay, and positioning. How have I positioned that product? It's a high-end product. Now, the crazy thing is the same manufacturer that manufactures one of my brands manufactures for another company, and they're selling pretty much the same flat iron for $35. How can I get $129 for a product that's damn near identical to a $30 product? It's positioning. Okay, it's perceived value. So that makes a difference. So try to find a product that has a high perceived value because it's going to increase your profitability. Okay. Next, what you have to look at now is your retail price. That's the price that you sell it to your customer. Okay. Your retail price should be at least 4 times the cost of your product. 4 times the cost of your product. So this may vary if you have a very profitable product. So I just talked about my flat iron. $10.78 cost, selling for $129. Just say $11 cost, I'm selling for $130, right? So what's that? 12 times, 13 times the actual cost of the product. And so you have to understand that now I'm getting $129 retail minus my $11, right? So that's $118 gross profit. So I have a ton of money that I can spend on advertising to sell that one unit. So you have to look at your retail price. So if you have a product that costs you $5 to manufacture, you want to sell it for at least $20. Okay, that's 4 times the cost, because what you need, you might be selling it wholesale. You also want to have profit available for you to be able to advertise. Okay, and we're going to talk about that next. Okay, so we've talked about the size and the weight of the product, of an ideal product. We've talked about the perceived value of what an ideal product is, or a winning product. We talked about the retail price just now that needs to be at least 4 times what the product costs. And now we're going to talk about the profit in dollars, not percentages. All right, people say, oh yeah, I'm making 200% on my product. You got a $1 product that you're selling for $3 and you made 200%. That's great, but you need money, not percentages, to spend on advertising. I can't go to Amazon pay-per-click or Google ads and say, yeah, I got 300% return on this product. I need to run some ads. Nah, they're going to tell you we need money. Okay, so remember, what is your profit in dollars, not percentage? You need money, not percentages, to spend on advertising. No product moves, guys, without advertising. No product moves without advertising unless you have a big social media following or you're on a platform where you can push the product without advertising. I'm going to tell you right now, on Amazon, if you don't advertise, you will not sell. They have millions upon millions of products on there. Unless you're a top-rated product, which it takes a while for you to get there, because you have to get on there and get sales and get good reviews, it's very tough. So on my flat irons, I told you my profit margin. I had about $118 to spend, right? Product cost $10.78. We'll just say $11 for, to make it simple. I was selling it for $129. We'll make it $130. Okay. So $130 minus $11 is what? $119. So I have $119 I can spend in advertising to make a sale. So even if I spend $50 in advertising, I'm still making what, $69. So you understand, I can outspend anybody when it comes to advertising. So when you have keyword search on Amazon pay-per-click, my keywords are flat iron, professional salon grade flat iron, high heat flat iron. I had bid on all types of keywords. So when you go on Amazon and start searching and you look for ceramic flat iron, professional flat iron, whatever, mine is going to be the first one that pops up, because I bid up to $10 a click because I had so much profit. So now if you're selling something that, cost you $1 and you're selling it for $3, literally you only have $2 to advertise with. And anything above $2, you're losing money to get that click. So remember, guys, profit, not in percentages, but in dollars. How many dollars am I going to have available to advertise my product or service or whatever you're selling? And so that's why you have to understand the cost associated with your product that you're selling. So remember, you got to have advertising dollars behind it, okay? I'm selling a product on Etsy right now. And when I started out, I said, well, let me see how it does without advertising. I didn't sell a thing for about 7 to 8 days. Then I started advertising, ratcheting that advertising up, and the product started to move. So I had to have the profitability in there to be able to advertise, okay? I want to give you guys a quick gem when it comes to advertising. So I've spent, especially during the holiday season, sometimes up to $2,000 a day on Amazon pay-per-click advertising. Now, people are like, oh, my God, I could never do that. Here's how you do this, and you build up to that. First of all, if you're a professional seller on Amazon, they will actually take your advertising revenue out of your commission check, okay? So what happens is this. If you had a product that you profit $15 from, if you sell one unit, that's the cost, minus your retail sales price, then I would start off with $15 a day in advertising on Amazon pay-per-click. That means that if you sell one unit, you're going to get that $15 back. Okay, so you're going to break even. So now you have to start playing with either your ad copy or how much you invest in advertising to see if you can break even, or obviously more than break even. So when I started out selling my flat irons, my first brand on Amazon, I said, well, you know what? If I sell one, I'm going to make about $111 minus whatever it costs me to advertise. So I said, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to start out with $30 a day to see how that works. And so over that day, if I sold one flat iron, which netted me $111 minus the $30 advertising, I made $80 that day. And so you ramp it up. And I said, okay, if I take it up to 40, how many can I sell? And then you'll start to see how the numbers work. You may get to a point where adding more money does not increase your sales. So you got to play with that. You start out slow. And the first thing you want to start out with is it could be per week instead of per day. If you get a profit of $15 on one sale, then maybe you spread it out $5 a day for 3 days. And if you get one sale, now you made your money back. You're breaking even. That's the first thing you want to do, is learn how to break even. So profit, remember, you want to talk about dollars and not percentages. How much money do you have to spend on advertising after all of your costs? Okay. Another thing, I want to give you an example in terms of profit. You may have to bundle things. Here's a great product to sell if you don't have any ideas. Socks, right? You can go, Christmas socks or holiday socks, whatever you want to call them. So you can go on a site like Alibaba.com, which connects you with manufacturers, which are primarily all in China, but there's some other Pakistan and other companies on there too. But they manufacture products. So if you ever go to the store Five Below, right, everything in there pretty much is manufactured in China. So just go to Alibaba.com, and what you can do is you can find a product, look for holiday socks or Christmas socks, then you go to Amazon, type in holiday socks or Christmas socks. I guarantee you're going to see some of the same socks on Alibaba from the manufacturers that somebody like you is selling on Amazon. And what you can do is you can look at the cost of those socks versus what they're selling them for. I looked at one pair of Christmas socks and they were selling for, I think, 45 or 50 cents a pair. Then I go on to Amazon, I see the same exact sock and it was selling for like $5. But here's what a smart e-commerce person would do. And this is what I saw this one seller on Amazon do. Instead of selling one sock, it costs 50 cents and they're selling it for $5, they bundled 12 different Christmas socks together and they were selling it for like $24 or something like that. And that only cost them, $10 or 50 cents was $6. And they were selling it for like $24. Now, the actual profitability margin decreased, but the actual cash or dollars that they generated from the sale is more than selling one sock for $5, which costs 50 cents. So you have a $4.50 profit versus selling 12 pairs of socks for $29 or something like that. But you see now, if they bought 12 pairs of socks, that's a $6 cost. They're selling it for $29, so they're making $23. So now it's easier to market and advertise on Amazon with that $23 profit than that $4.50 profit. And so that's what smart people do when they're in the e-commerce business. Okay, so profit in dollars, not percentages. You need dollars to advertise, so make sure you have enough dollars built into your price versus your cost so you can advertise on whatever platform it is. Next, you want to talk about packaging, right? How can you make your packaging increase your perceived value and increase your pricing? I talked about that earlier with my flat iron. I have a designer gift box with a magnetic closure, high-end graphics, verbiage. Everything about that brand is high-end. So once again, my packaging. Guys, I'm going to tell you, when you buy high-end products, right, look at the packaging. You go to buy Beats headphones. They're not in a plastic clamshell, right? They're in a nice box. They're in a nice package. Okay, you go buy a pair of nice shoes. They're usually in a nice package, nice box. You ladies buy pocketbooks, right? Your designer pocketbooks and bags, they got a dust cover. They got all types of things to make it enhanced. So your packaging can make a big difference in your pricing and your profitability. And the last thing I want to tell you, when you're looking for a winning product, limited variations when you're starting out. So I have a coaching student that wanted to start out by selling dresses. Now, it was a specific type of dress, but here's what you have to take into account. You have different colors, just say red, blue, green, yellow, and white. So you got 5 colors. You got sizes, small, medium, large, extra large, 2X or whatever. So now with those 5 colors and those 5 sizes, you literally have 25 variations or 25 different SKUs or products that you have to have in stock. So sell something that has one size or limited variations. So when I was selling the bamboo pillows, you had 2 options, queen or king pillow. All right, that's it. Queen or king pillow. The flat iron, you have 1 variation. That's it. There's no color variations or anything like that. That's too costly when you start out. So have limited variations so you don't have a lot of products. Now, there is a way to get around that if you do print on demand. And we're going to talk about that actually in part 2, which comes out next week. So make sure you guys tune in to part 2 next week. Okay. So today we're talking about simple e-commerce profits for the holidays, part 1. We talked about how to identify winning products. You look at your size and your weight, your perceived value, your retail price, your profit, not in percentages, but in dollars. You can't buy ads with percentages, okay? Then you look at your packaging, and you also want to have limited variations, okay? Next, we want to talk about where do you find these products to sell? Where do you find these products to sell? Now, remember, there are only 6 type of things that you can sell, guys. Your physical products, your digital products, and your services, or somebody else's physical products, somebody else's digital products, or somebody else's services. And we're going to stick to physical products, okay? So The first thing you can do to find products to sell is you can create your own products. It could be candles, it could be t-shirts, whatever you want to create. Now, there are pros and cons to everything, and let's take a look at the pros and cons when you create your own products. And we'll use candles, for example. All right, my niece has a burgeoning candle business where she's selling these homemade candles. She, handcrafted candles. And my daughter bought a couple, and they're nice. She got a couple of them in the house here. She left them here. So the pros are you own and control the product, including the pricing. You own and control the product, including the pricing. So you're creating your own candles or whatever product is. The cons is you have to make the product, and it may be time consuming. So it's going to be hard to scale. If you get an order for 100 candles and it takes you an hour to make one candle, then that means you got to invest 100 hours to fulfill that order. So there are pros and cons. So you can create your own products. You may be able to create a product that doesn't take that long that people want. So that's one way to find products to sell. Another one is print on demand. Okay. And I talked about that a little bit ago, but we're going to talk about that more in the next part too. Print on demand, guys. You sell products first, then you fulfill the order through a print on demand printer. So this is how this works if you're not familiar. You can connect with a print on demand fulfillment house, and you can sell t-shirts, printed t-shirts, hats, or whatever. So now you put that product up on the website. You put your custom t-shirt up on the website. Somebody goes to your site. They buy it for $30. Now, your print on demand fulfillment company may charge you $16 or $17 for the shirt and the printing and to ship it out. So on that $30 order, if it costs you $17, that means you've made $13. Now, there are pros and cons to print on demand. One of the pros is you don't have to have inventory. So you don't have to go stock all of those different shirt colors and the shirt sizes. Just like I gave you the example previously with the different color dresses and the dress sizes. So now you don't have to spend money or invest money to do that. That's the pro, right? Now, one of the cons is that you usually don't make as much profit per sale because you're doing print on demand. So in that example I just gave you, retail price for your t-shirt is $30. Your print on demand company for the shirt, the printing, and to ship it out is going to cost you $16, right? Whatever it is, just say $16. So your profit is $14. Now, if you purchase that shirt in bulk and had that shirt printed out in each size, small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, 3X, or whatever, you probably can get that done for about $5 to $6 a shirt. Sell it for $30, that means you make a profit of $25. The problem is you'd have to invest all of that capital into inventory that you don't know if you could sell. So print on demand is a great way to find products to sell. Let me give you a couple of companies like Printful. I use them, Printful, Printfly. There's tons of them out there that will actually work with Shopify and some of your other e-commerce shops out there. But we're really going to dig into that in part 2 next week. Okay, where else can you find products to sell? You can private label a product, okay? And private label basically is you contact a manufacturer that already manufactures a product and you have them put your name on it. That's what I did with my Flatiron brands, both brands. I did it a little backwards because before I even had proof of concept, I trademarked my brand names, didn't know if they were going to sell, invested money in that, got the Flatirons, and then started selling. But thank goodness it worked out. But you can reach out to private label manufacturers. You can go to Alibaba.com and you can find the manufacturers. And you have, once again, pros and cons with that. The pros are you have more control over your branding and imagery. So now, as opposed to marketing somebody else's brand or reselling somebody else's brand, you're selling your own brand. You're building brand equity. So that's a big pro. So when you come out with the next product, the follow-up product, so on my Flatirons, the 2 follow-up products I created right away were a hair serum and also a thermal protector to protect your hair against the heat from the Flatiron. So those were ancillary products that went directly with the Flatiron brand. So now I have not just one product, I have 3 products to move, which increases my visibility, increases my brand, and also increases my profitability. Okay, let's look at the cons. Now, you usually have to, the manufacturer is usually going to require you to purchase larger amounts because now they have to put your custom branding on it. Okay, so when you go to Alibaba, it's going to say MOQ, minimum order quantity, if you want your logo or your branding on the packaging or the product. Now, I want to let you know, and this is also in the course, that you can negotiate. Sometimes you'll see something like a minimum order quantity of 1,000 units, and you're just starting out and you can't afford 1,000 units. You can negotiate with the manufacturer and say, hey, let me start off with 100 to make sure I get proof of concept. So in Brand Builder Academy Elite, I have all the templates that you need in order to send out requests for quotes, how to negotiate with the manufacturers. Everything is in Brand Builder Academy Elite. So don't forget, go to BBA Elite or the website blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Go and enroll in Brand Builder Academy Elite. Use the coupon code HOLIDAY, all lowercase, and save $400 off the $497 program. Pound for pound, one of my best programs out there. So now you can find products, and we talked about creating your own products, print on demand, or you can private label your products. Okay. The last one is you can resell other people's products. So you can go to Alibaba and buy those socks, right? Now, those socks don't have any branding on it. The Christmas socks I talked about. You can go ahead, buy them, and then put them up on Amazon, and you're off and running. Here's the pros. That is super simple. You literally can do that today. You do the price breakdown on what you can buy it for versus what you can sell it. And then you can go ahead, make sure you take into account shipping. All right. So they're going to give you a quote on shipping. So that factors in to the cost of your product. Shipping from China or whatever manufacturer you use to your house or your office. Then you have to, when you sell it, you have to factor in the shipping cost to your customer. Are you going to have free shipping like Amazon, or are you going to charge the customer for shipping? Okay. So pros are, it's very simple. The cons are, there's a ton of competition. So those socks that I talked about from Alibaba, you go on Amazon, and this is just on page 1 and 2, I've seen about 7 or 8 people selling the same sock. Okay, so the competition is fierce out there. And the way you differentiate yourself, guys, can be packaging. So some people may sell the socks in a poly bag. Other people may say, you know what, let me get a higher perceived value. I'm going to put them in a nice box with a clear top, and I'm going to put 12 of those socks in there, 12 pairs in there, versus just selling this one pair. So once again, positioning, pricing, and profit, those things have to be aligned. And that's how you're going to make more money. Once again, all of that stuff is in Brand Builder Academy Elite, BBAElite.com. Before I get to the last segment of the show, let me just share my social media contact information and resource links real quick. Everything I'm about to tell you guys is on the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. So I talked about my new book, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, the ultimate prompting guide for beginners. You can go to unlockingchatgpt.com. I mentioned Brand Builder Academy Elite. You can go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Make sure you take advantage of the savings using the coupon code HOLIDAY, and you'll save $400 off the $497 price. I also mentioned BEB Academy, which is our online learning portal. It is on the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. So everything I just talked about there is on the website. Now, if you want to get in contact with me, you can go to the website, hit the About tab, and under my bio has all my social media contacts and links. But anything long, if you want to reach out to me, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Instagram. I have 2 IG accounts, guys. The first one is J Jones for Real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Connect with me on LinkedIn, guys. Just go to LinkedIn, type in J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, connect with me there. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The show does come out on YouTube every week when it drops on all your major podcast platforms. So go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit the subscribe button. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Now, in closing, I just want to share a couple more things real quick, guys. I talked at the beginning of the show about an episode I did years ago titled How E-Commerce Saved My Life. And I'm such a big proponent of e-commerce because of what I talked about today. Low barrier to entry. You have unlimited potential. So for those of you who don't know, the first 6 months that I started selling flat irons, and this is no indication that you're going to do the same because the landscape has changed and it's gotten a little harder now to be successful on Amazon. So the first 6 months that I started selling flat irons, I did $270,000+ at a 70% profit margin. And the 30% basically, or the 20% was Amazon ads, pay-per-click ads. So I I put in my pocket close to $150,000 in 6 months when I started that first brand. And I came out with another brand. And subsequent to that, I have several different product brands that I sell on Amazon and on my own sites. So when I talk about loving e-commerce, it's a beautiful thing. You have flexibility and freedom if you're using a fulfillment company. So Amazon has Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, where you send your products to Amazon's warehouse, and when somebody buys it, they're going to pick, pack, and ship it. Now, of course, there's a fee or a cost to that. And in part 2, we're going to talk about Amazon and all the other platforms that you can sell your products on to make money over the holiday season. But that's something, guys, where you can create that freedom where people are ordering and you're just watching the money roll in day after day after day. And I tell you, Amazon pays, I think it was every Wednesday or Thursday, I think. Yeah, I think it's mine usually comes out every Thursday or Friday. But you'll see checks in there for 15 grand for the week, 20 grand. It's amazing. And so I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you because, nobody's results are guaranteed, but you got to do the program to even get in the game. So with Brand Builder Academy Elite, I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to make 15, 20 grand a month. But what I will tell you is if you follow the program, you will be better off making some money than you will not making any money at all. And the investment is so low that it's a no-brainer. It's only a $97 investment. And so this is something, guys, that I really believe can be the game changer for a lot of people. If you work in corporate America, you need to look at e-commerce because you can do it part-time. You can do it full-time if it turns into that. And it's a low barrier to entry. And you can focus on products that you have an interest in, that make sense to you, that are profitable. That's why we went over identifying winning products today. Then I talked about where do you find these winning products. So this is a part of the whole educational process for somebody that wants to make simple e-commerce profits for the holidays. But really, guys, not just for the holidays because they're right upon us, but the holidays and beyond. OK, the holidays are the super hot time where you're going to make a ton of money if you have a good product that you're selling online and people know about it. But if it's a good product, it can continue to make you money all year long. So I say this each and every week, guys, because it's true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the website. Everything I talked about today is on the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. If you're lazy, go to bebconnect.com and it'll take you right to the website. Don't forget about checking out the website. We want blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com to be the resource for Black entrepreneurs. We have all types of resources on the website. Hit the learn button. There's a drop down. You can learn about marketing, strategy, scaling your business, e-commerce. Anything you want to learn is there to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.